Welcome to the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show, your weekly voyage into Florida fishing. Presented by Hubbard's Marina, hosted by Captain Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
Good morning, Tampa Bay, 970 WFLA. Talking fishing, going to be here until 8 o'clock. Unfortunately, only until 8 o'clock.
Never gets old.
Nope. And it's going to happen. They took my third hour away, so I'm going to just keep on saying.
Keep on trucking.
That's right. Want to put a big shout out to Chris Mathis. He is behind the glass, punished for some unknown reason. He hasn't been here very long, but he seems to get punished quite often now.
See, I was telling him before the show this week. I've been listening more and more to WDAE and the Pat and Aaron show.
Yeah,
and just trying to learn more radio techniques. You know.
Yeah.
And I think he's punished all the time.
Because he's got to work with those two clowns.
Yeah, I got messed with a good bit this week, but all in good fun. All in good fun.
Okay.
It's a brutal crowd over there.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart.
That's right.
That is very, very true. So I want to put a big shout out first and foremost. We need to put a shout out to our thoughts and prayers, Dylan and I both, to Uvalde, Texas, all the insanity that has gone on this week out there. Again, thoughts and prayers.
Crazy.
Yeah, we're not gonna dive into that. We're not going down that rabbit hole this morning. Although I think Dylan and I would both love to, but we both like our job, so we're going to stay right here in our lane. Also, Memorial Day weekend. Normally we're off Memorial Day weekend. Chris is like, "What the heck? Why are we doing a show? It's Memorial Day weekend." But
see, people like me, hospitality industry, there's no Memorial Day weekend. I work all weekend.
Well, that's a
I didn't even know that was a holiday, really.
That's a problem you should fix. I'm just saying. We'll talk about that after the show.
We honor Memorial Day, and obviously you have those thoughts through the weekend, and people complaining about gas prices when some people went overseas and fought for this country and gave their lives,
Yeah,
So
100%.
You always have those thoughts, but there's no holiday off of work. It just means you're busier at work.
He's young. He'll get it. It'll come to you.
No,
It'll come to you.
I don't agree.
But I want to put those thoughts in everyone's head. The only thing Dylan said right there that I don't fully agree with is I don't think everybody thinks about Memorial Day. To too many people, it's just a big long weekend. It's boating, it's fun, it's barbecue, it's Monday off, all of those things, and all those things are great. But what Memorial Day stands for means so much to this country, who we are, all the blessings that we get to enjoy each and every day was laid by those who gave. So that needs to come across, in my opinion.
Yep.
At some point in your thought process this weekend, we need to give thanks to those that have fallen. So
home of the free because of the brave.
100%. True story. So lots of stuff to cover today. Going to be a fantastic show. Dylan already throwing all kinds of crazy stuff at me this morning. Conversation spectacular already, so you guys missed all kinds of cool topics, but we'll some we can talk about on the air and some we cannot.
Yes.
But lots of good stuff anyway. Busy week for me. I was on the water a bunch. You were on the water a bunch. Last weekend we didn't have the show. We both needed off, so we rolled with a repeat with a best of.
Yeah.
You had a big week. We got to touch on this
monster
wahoo that you had with Mike Mahoney and the Weirdos.
Yeah. This week was a little disappointing. I was supposed to be fishing 3 days this week, and unfortunately, office transitions occurred, and my management team got a big shakeup. Our office general manager and retail manager left, and we had to kind of scramble. So that ruined 1 day, and then 2 days got canceled due to weather. So
I was before we dive too far into the wahoo. What exactly? Because you're like my weather guy. Like I've started to even just call you and go, "Hey, dude, what do you think?" Because I'm looking at it. But dude, seriously. Every weatherman that operates an app on my phone should give last week's check back.
Oh, yeah.
Because they weren't even close.
Yeah, this past work week, especially the early part of it, was a a big challenge.
Dude, it was windy, bro, and they were calling for it to blow a little, but like blow a little doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But I was on the water, and it wasn't blowing a little.
Yeah.
Like they weren't close. Like they were missing by like 7 to 10 knots.
Well, a lot of that had to do with the tropical disturbance.
But don't they know that?
Well, that's the thing is they know that it's out there, but the forecast models are all trying to figure out what that thing's going to do. Is it strengthening? Is it going to move? Is it going to dissipate? And that thing got a lot stronger. It became, it was on National Hurricane Center's website. It was the first blob and spaghetti models of the season.
Again.
And it was like 10 hours notice.
I'm down. But I'll go back to the whole, let's go back to, I use my analogy that we can't seem to count the fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, gosh.
Yet a man walked on the moon. A man walked on the moon, and we can't.
12 in the morning, and we're bringing this up already?
And we can't figure out what the wind's going to do? A dude walked. See, Chris Masters, think about this. One day, a dude he got out, and he took a walk on the moon.
You're
but we can't figure out the weather?
You're comparing
we can't get close to the weather?
You're comparing a $60 billion NASA space program.
It's the weather. What are they paying these people? I thought Steve Jervey got paid good. He got paid good, so good he retired early, for God's sake.
That's like saying my Ford Pinto can outrun a Ferrari. You're comparing apples to oranges.
Why?
Because
they get paid well to get the weather right.
Oh,
and they're not even close.
Yeah, so a meteorologist can only work on forecast models. It's all the forecast.
Who's doing the forecast model? That guy should get punched in the face.
It's a computer.
Well, that guy should definitely get punched in the face.
The computer?
Then. Somebody taught that computer to be an idiot.
Okay. We're just going to have to agree to disagree on this.
Right? Why are they so far off, dude?
Well,
how did we ever get to the moon if we can't figure out that the wind's going to blow 25 this week and not 10?
A great example is right now, for me at Hubbard's Marina and the way we operate, we wake up in the morning, we look at the forecast, we look at the forecast models, we look at the radar, we look at Windy, Windfinder, NOAA, and you look at a few of them and you kind of get an average of, all right, this is the forecast. But I never trust forecasts because I know it's a forecast. It's an algorithm, and algorithms and models can fail. So I like to look at the weather buoy and see what the weather's actually doing. If the forecast is 3 foot and the weather buoy's already at 3.5 foot, I know we're going to get screwed, and the forecast is wrong. But what's the real pickle right now for us, at least near shore and offshore, is someone killed the Egmont Key buoy. So our Egmont Key buoy that gives us real-time data, it's gone. And it's not functioning.
The one you told me I should use?
The one that everybody uses, at least at our dock.
No wonder. Why didn't you send me a memo that it had been killed? That would have helped out my whole week.
And that makes a lot of challenges even for forecasters, because the weather, they use the same thing. They're looking at forecasts and they're looking at real-time data. And when we lose real-time data like that, it definitely can create challenges.
Okay.
And even Windfinder, I'll notice a lot of times we'll have a forecast and then the buoy's a little higher than their forecast. And I notice on the next update, they kind of bump it up, whether that's the forecast model catching up to what's really happening, or someone's like, oh, our forecast is off. Let's adjust this up. So it's I think that's a big part of the problem, at least for the nearshore thing. And it's a challenge for me because sitting there in the morning seeing a forecast of 3 foot, that's a little borderline for some of our nearshore beginning angler trips, like our 5-hour half day. And you're like, yeah, let's send it. We can make it happen. But then they get out there and it's 4 foot. Now it's not borderline anymore.
Yeah.
It's like a situation where we should have canceled the trip, but we didn't know. We're operating off the forecast.
I know for 10 years that I did the TV show with News Channel 8, and I spent a lot of time in that building. I ran into every single person that's anyone at News Channel 8 except Steve Jervey. I think the minute he saw me come on the camera when I entered the building, he hid.
I'm sure.
I think he's like, if Captain Anderson shows up, I'm not here. Because he knew I wanted to throttle him. He knew that if I got on the elevator, it was just me and Steve Jervey, I'd cover up the camera and have to heart punch him. Seriously.
It's super disappointing, Mike.
Why?
Because his job is just to read a weather model forecast and make an educated guess. That's all it is. It's an educated guess.
You are not going to let these people off the hook. First of all, you don't like Waffle House. You don't like Waffle House, and now the meteorologist is a good person?
I mean, Waffle House is terrible. It's not that I don't like it. I just think no one should ever eat there unless you're like blacked out drunk and it's 3 a.m. and no one else is open. B, meteorologists, they have a really tough job. They're trying to read a forecast and make an educated guess, and things can change.
Is
and
this all because you and Amanda Holly are friends on Facebook now?
And Dave Osterberg. Shout out to Dave.
It's all about his friends.
Yeah, and to me, it's really, really difficult to look at a weather model and try to make a forecast. Look at the area they're forecasting, too.
Dude, for what they pay you, you'd think you could get it right.
They don't get paid that much money.
Whatever. For goodness sakes. Come on.
You'd be surprised.
Now you've had dinner with freaking Steve Jervy's checkbook. now you got his W-9. You know what they're paying the guy.
I just know that you'd be surprised.
Right? Chris Mathis is like, hey, good point, huh? Where do you get the information? Did you Google it? How do you know?
I'm sure you could Google it, but no, I didn't. I don't think they get paid enough to, because I mean, they're enemy number one. You're setting yourself up for failure being a meteorologist because you're going to be wrong.
The only way you could possibly take that job is if they paid you well. Why else would you possibly take that job?
It's fun.
Let's see.
I
the
like
whole
weather.
Entire planet's going to hate me.
It's really interesting.
The whole planet's going to hate me, but I'll do it for $3 an hour. That's not happening.
They don't do it for $3 an hour, but they're not making a killing either. And to me, it's a fun job. I mean, it's interesting. Science and weather.
I didn't say it's not interesting. The weather is interesting. Yeah. I just wish somebody'd get it a little closer to correct. Because when you go out on the water and you're thinking it's going to do this and it does that, it's brutal.
You just agreed with me earlier. When you go out on a fishing trip, do you look at one forecast or do you look at a couple?
I look at a couple. Try to see if they even agree.
So
because half the time they don't even agree. You pull
why
up
do you expect one meteorologist
you pull up Weather
to be
Underground and they'll be like, there's a 10% chance of rain. And then you pull up the other one and they're like 90% chance of rain today. You're like, what? So are you guys not even looking at one another's gear? You don't cheat a little and go, hey, I wonder what they're doing over at Hubbard's Marina.
You're saying you check multiple different weather forecasts, but then you expect one meteorologist to be right all the time.
I expect them to be close. I expect them to be accurate once in a while.
Come on,
dude,
I almost had them, right?
They weren't even close all week. They weren't even close.
They were.
They weren't close.
One. This week was a tough week to be a meteorologist.
It was a tough week, bro. They were driving me nuts. I'm like, okay, well, it's supposed to come.
No, the captains and crew were mad at me too. I mean, Thursday we made the call to go out on that 10-hour trip, and it was rough.
Yeah,
it was rough.
It was rough. Yeah. I come over the Skyway Bridge, and I'm all happy, headed to work, and have a great day on the water.
I called them on their way in. I was like, hey man, how's the trip today? He was like, I'm going to kill you.
That's right. Not good. It was not good. So we accomplished nothing. There went 20 minutes of our life and 20 minutes of your life where we accomplished zero.
And we don't have anybody listening. It's early. They're not awake yet.
Oh, Richard in the South Shore is listening.
Oh.
And we're going to talk to him on the other side. Hopefully we'll hear from you as well. Talking fishing this morning. I promise you we'll get done babbling and roll on to some. Chris Mathis is like, God, please, I can't do 2 hours of this. I need something better. 1-800-969-9352. Again, it's 1-800-969-9352. Light them up. Let's talk a little fishing. We'll be back. 970 WFLA.
Hey, anglers. The best fishing charters in the Bay Area out of Hubbard.
That was fun. Hey, good morning, everybody. What's up?
I don't think we have the right channel.
For what?
I thought this
No.
CBS.
Oh,
what are we looking for? ABC, right?
8. NBC.
What?
NBC. Yeah. She's on the Peacock. Come on, bro. You gotta know.
I don't know these stations. I don't have cable.
You gotta know where your friends are, bro.
I'm not 100 degrees.
Where your buddies are.
Good Day Tampa Bay. That's Fox 13. These channels are weird, though. It doesn't say.
No. Where is my page?
What channel is this? Is that Mr. Rogers?
It is Mr. Rogers. Wow.
These TVs.
He's no longer with us.
So ABC Action News, this is it, right?
Yes, sir.
Like I told
No.
you guys 2 weeks ago.
No?
NBC.
NBC.
That starts with an A.
What channel is NBC?
8. News Channel 8. I don't know if
I thought it was News Channel 8. I didn't know it was NBC.
Yeah, it's NBC. They're the NBC affiliate. For God's sakes.
I don't know how this stuff works.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't need it. I don't need it.
Full-fledged weatherman over here, but he can't find News Channel 8, for God's sakes.
I will say Dylan's the first guy I've ever heard defend A weatherman's forecast.
Yeah.
Dude, it's really hard to be a weatherman.
Well, no, I'm not saying it's not, but I'm just saying like you're the first one I ever heard like truly defend.
Like, think about it. You have from Tarpon Springs down to like Sarasota out to like Orlando, and you have to tell them what the weather's going to be. The weather's going to be different in Lakeland than it is on the coast.
That's true.
And you got 2 minutes to relay the forecast for everybody.
And that can change quickly.
And offshore.
I will say it's one of the jobs that you can be wrong the majority of the time and still walk into the office the next day and
you still got a job.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Like, oh yeah, man, the Doppler radar was off last night.
It's a thing.
It is. Made for good conversation. Apparently, we got some people chatting.
Well, it might be 16-1. I don't know. Some of these are on commercial, so it's impossible to tell.
Waffle House is awesome. Great start to the show. Mike is on fire this morning.
You should have heard it before the show, guys.
That's right.
Should have heard the before show.
We
don't stream that for a reason.
We may need to start one of those on a different channel.
We're gonna try different stations, and we'll be able to figure this out. So that's 61, 16.3.
It doesn't go to 8?
No, all the stations are funky.
Oh,
Like 17.1.
Oh, there it is.
Which one? 17.
17. Yep. Woo!
Now we're in there like.
You don't want to come into our den here
Don't come into the lair.
on every break now, because we got the TVs right.
We're not gonna say anything on break. It's just gonna be total silence.
We're looking at the forecast and the bolts. How about our bolts?
And the forecast. We're meteorology. Son of a sailor.
It never ends. It's so much fun. It never ends.
Someone said, you don't like the awful waffle? Nope, I don't, Randy. You're right, buddy. The awful waffle. That's a good one. I like that.
It is. Yeah. I'm sure I've heard that before, but it is a good one.
Man, it is cold in here.
Yeah. I want to make sure you don't fall asleep while you're at work.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything coming up we got to plug?
I'm not doing a seminar. Is that dead air? Oh, that was weird. No, I'm not doing a seminar in June.
Welcome back.
970 WFLA.
That's right. The Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show.
I was worried about you.
He is the
You had this blank look on your face.
Always.
Thought you forgot where you were.
That just stays there. I'm a charter captain. I had a double yesterday.
Oh,
I'm
my
still
God.
tired.
First double in 6 years.
Hey, listen. I'm gonna tell you the same thing I'm fixing to tell Mahoney too. You know, Mahoney likes to ride that. Oh, you only work a half a day. Listen,
I called him yesterday. He was like, I'm gonna pick up a second trip. I was like, a second trip? What do you mean?
I had it scheduled. Mahoney fishes one day every 2 weeks. And he's like, I was out there for 18 hours. Yeah, dude, you haven't been on the water in 2 weeks.
No, I have to give it to Mahoney. I think he fishes a lot more than we give him credit for. But he then turns around and says that he works 70 hours a week, which is totally off base
yeah,
because
it's not close.
T.A. Mahoney's is closed on Sundays.
Trust me. Go by Mahoney's at 8 o'clock in the morning when
He's
they
not
open.
there.
No, sir.
No.
If you're lucky, if you show up at 11 and Mahoney's there.
Yeah.
Okay?
And for him to try to tell me that he works 70 hours a week is so off base.
11 to 5.
And I know because Cameron, our camera guy, your camera guy, my camera guy, his camera guy, tells me how much Mahoney's out fishing.
Yeah.
Mahoney goes fishing twice a week.
Yeah.
He
exhausted.
might work 40 hours.
You must be exhausted, Mahoney.
Yeah, he might work
twice
40
a week.
hours.
You fish twice a week and you're spent. Give me a break, bro. Give me a break.
I think you both don't work enough.
You're the youngster. We're old.
You've earned the right not to work.
That's right.
All right.
That's
Fair
right.
enough.
Let's go to the phones here real quick. Let's check in with our partner in crime there on the South Shore. Let's check in with Richard. Richard, how are you this morning, sir?
I was doing all right till you started picking on the weatherman.
Come on.
Thanks, Richard.
You're not
He's
gonna
got my back.
You're gonna, Richard. You of all people, a diehard fisherman, and you like the weatherman.
Hey, these guys are fairly highly educated individuals. They don't make a ton of money for the most part. I mean, you got your occasional big-name weathermen that'll make money. And they mostly do what they're doing because they like doing it and they do it well. And we don't give them credit for all the times they get it right. But when we go out there and they get it wrong, then we want to threaten them with physical violence.
Amen.
How would you like it? How would you like it, Mike, if you took fishing and you had a bad day and everything, and then they turn around and punch you in the face because you had a bad day fishing? Now, that wouldn't be very nice, would it?
This is awesome.
Can I just tell you, Richard, that I am absolutely speechless. This is a great phone call, world-class phone call. Maybe this is going to go down in Real Animals lore as one of the best phone calls we've ever received here. Seriously, dude, that is awesome. I just absolutely love your phone calls, bro. That is great. And there's nothing I can say because you are 100% spot on, bro. You are spot on, dude. That is spectacular. Absolutely spectacular.
All right. I'm going to go slide down the canal in the kayak. See if I can get some of this out of my system.
You have totally made my morning, my friend. Thank you, Richard. That is great. How would you like it if someone you took fishing didn't have a good day?
He's got a great point.
Just punched you in the face. Fair enough, dude. Fair enough.
I'm using that every time a fishing charter captain complains about the weather forecast now.
That is spectacular, bro.
Epic.
I cannot believe that just happened. That is beautiful. Did you save that by chance? Because that is beautiful.
I can go back and find it some way,
please.
somehow. When I do, I'll email it to you.
That would be yes. Please email that to me because I would love to. I would love to put that all over social media because that was great. Unbelievable.
Epic.
Really, dude. I'm only sad that we're not doing a show tomorrow because that would be a great topic of conversation for tomorrow. Me getting punched in the face by one of my customers. God, if I did get punched in the face,
it wouldn't happen a lot, but
it would
happen.
It'd happen more than you think.
Yeah.
I'd be bruised up still, probably.
And the expectation, you take some guests out fishing and you fill a fish box, and they're like, "Well, I thought I was going to limit out on grouper."
Right.
Like I'll never forget, we did a deep drop trip, and we have all these snowy grouper tile fish. It was during red snapper season. We had a limit of red snapper. We caught 2 wahoo, like epic trip, like huge fish box just overflowing. We're cutting fish for like 3 hours, and the guests literally left us a bad review after the trip because they didn't catch the limit of gags. I was like, what about the 20 snowy grouper and yellow edge that you had in your fish box? But you wanted gags? It was crazy.
We've got our freshwater guru, Ron, out at beautiful Ron's Tackle Box coming up on the other side. Hopefully, we'll hear from you as well. We need some more Richard on the South Shore in our life. That is classic stuff right there. Phone line is 1-800-969-9352.
Any weatherman that was listening or weatherwoman was like, yeah, tell him, Richard.
We'll be back, 970 WFLA. His heart attack in the hospital.
Yeah, that was...
That is right up there, dude.
I was doing all right until you threatened the weatherman with physical violence. I was like, is he being serious? And he was. It was epic.
The best ever right there, dude. Oh, my God. Oh.
Radio gold, people. This is how it's done.
That's right. Yeah. Oh. Oh, my God. Dude.
I hope a meteorologist calls in.
That would be great. Oh, my God.
They're all on air right now. Now, the next topic we got to introduce on this next segment is about the spin and reel conversation.
Dude, you know how much Steve Jervy's worth?
I knew you were Googling that as soon as you started talking.
Wait, how much do you think he's worth?
He probably makes.
No, he's retired.
You're talking about net worth.
He's retired.
He's retired. You can't compare that. What if he's a smart investor? That's like saying, oh, how much are you worth? That means you're a smart person. You didn't waste your money. You saved your money. You invested well.
It's a simple question. How much do you think?
$2 million, $3 million.
$5 million.
Yeah. He's good with his money.
Really good, apparently.
Yeah.
Worth
I
$5
mean,
million.
you make 100, 150, and you invest your money.
You think he makes $150,000 a year doing the weather?
I'm sure most
He makes
meteorologists
he
is
makes
probably.
way more than that. Way more than that. Way
It's
more.
a professional career. I mean, maybe nowadays a meteorologist that's
Lead
been there
meteorologist?
that's been there 20, 25 years might make 200, but you're not making a ton of money. You're not a tech data or some private company CEO money, you know.
Google, here we go. Yeah, find out.
Like someone like Amanda Hawley. She's been in Weather Game 10 years.
Hey,
She's not making $150K
Listen.
a year.
she's underpaid.
Like Dave Ostenberg, he's been with Good Day for I don't know how long. Multiple, probably 10, 15 years. He probably makes closer to that 200 mark. But it's still a hard job. Dude, is that really how you type?
Yes, I can't type.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a hunter and a pecker.
He's over there, one finger on the keyboard. Oh, that's embarrassing. I'm a hunter and pecker, he says.
It's true. I am. Dunk, 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 dunk. Especially on this one. It's not the same as my one at the house. I can do it pretty quick now.
You're good at hunting and pecking at the house?
Yeah.
I'm a hunter and pecker. John Rivers says, make sure you get one of those bruise makeup kits on the boat after you get punched in the face.
Oh my God, that was so awesome, dude. I just can't believe that happened. Cannot believe that happened. That was epic. Oh my God.
Keeps us grounded.
Oh,
That's what you guys do.
I thought they made more money than that.
Oh, so you agree?
The average, what do you think the average is?
90.
Average, at 50% in the average, the median is 97.6.
100. All right.
Upper 121 to 142.
That's still not a lot of money in today's world.
It is to be wrong. A lot.
You get paid a lot to have some bad days.
I do, but at least I'm trying. Doesn't even seem like they're trying sometimes. Like, you fuckers ain't even close. I cannot believe that Richard on the South Shore went there. Right up until you talked about bodily harming them bitches.
He laid into you.
That was great.
Donald Waberman said, someone get Mike a blood pressure pill.
I'm calm. I'm having so much fun. I don't really know what to do with myself. I'm exhausted. I actually fished pretty hard this week. I'm toast. And that's hysterical. Dude, Lee Blick called me yesterday. I was back out already on my second, and he called me, and I'm like, what does Blick call me for? And he goes, you're running a double? I go, yeah.
He's like, you feel
no
okay?
way. He's like, no way. I'm like, yeah, bitch. Dang,
I
dude.
still got it.
I did this for 10 years straight.
You're running a double?
It's tarpon season.
So I wasn't the only one who reacted that way yesterday.
No, no, you weren't. You're running a double? Yeah.
The people at O'Neill's were like,
up,
is he
Blick.
lost?
Yeah. Someone called the Coast Guard. It's 2 o'clock.
Anderson's heading back out.
It's 2 o'clock and Anderson's not back yet. I went to the Skyway in that wind yesterday afternoon.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It
Trying to
started
find
buffing.
tarpon. It was honking, dude. If you're looking for a new roof or maybe a roof repair, check out our good friends at Affordable Roofing Systems. Over 3 decades now, of roofing knowledge to guide you through this important process. We're headed into the rainy season. The last thing you want to have is problems with your roof. Affordable Roofing Systems is your safest choice for repairs or replacements. You can give them a call today for a free estimate. Doesn't cost you anything. 1-888-397-ROOF or visit them online at affordableroofingflorida.com. June 21st, we're going to be out at Bartow Ford for the Bartow Ford Real Animals Fishing Conversation. We got one of the absolute best fishermen on the planet going to join us. The great Bobby Lane will join us. He of the recent big Red Crest Cup win, which is Major League Fishing's equivalent to winning a Bassmaster Classic. Big shout out to my friend Bobby Lane. It's going to be absolutely fantastic to see him get caught up. Again, one of the best, absolutely best in the business. You know, these guys that make a living, a true living, fishing in all those different bodies of water and all that. He is going to be absolutely incredible with information to help you become a better angler. We're going to be out there at Bartow Ford 6 to 8 p.m. Again, June 21st. That's a Tuesday. Our good friend Dana at Silver Ring Cafe there in Riverview is going to be doing up some killer Cubans.
And devil crab.
Devil crab. He always chimes in as soon as we get to the devil crab part. And some stuffed potatoes. The people at Bartow Ford are even talking about bringing more food in, maybe some food trucks. It's going to be a big show. We're going to have a lot of people there. So
You had me at deviled crab.
yeah, well, I'm going to set some aside for you. Make sure you get fed. You come a long ways to do that event, so we're going to make sure and come on out there and meet Dylan and I. Say hello. We'll have a bunch of goodies to give away: Ingle coolers, Bull Bay rods, a bunch of Real Animals swag, probably some Hubbard stuff. I mean, we'll have you covered up. So come on out and see us June 21st for the Bartow Ford Real Animals Fishing Conversation. Big old time out there at Bartow Ford. Let's go to the phone lines here. Let's get a Memorial Day weekend freshwater report from our guru out at Ron's Tackle Box. Ronnie, how are you, buddy?
Doing great this morning. Hey, can you hear me okay?
I got
Yes,
you.
sir.
Sound great, my friend.
All right, great. Hey, Dylan's going to have to get a little bigger boat, I think.
I got some big ones.
Because he's, them whale sharks out there.
There it is.
Getting to be a little bit bigger than the boat.
Oh, yeah. That was a big whale shark we saw. It was crazy.
I seen that on TV, man. That was amazing.
Yeah,
Beautiful fish.
It's definitely been a unique experience, getting a lot of exposure. It was crazy. That week we caught a sailfish, nearly 100-pound wahoo. I think it was over 100 pounds if we didn't bleed it. And then we saw that whale shark. Wow. And, I mean, to me, a whale shark, yeah, we see them. It's not super rare. It wasn't, like, super crazy. It was unique, kind of hung out. But the 100-pound wahoo, I was like, this is crazy. Out of John's Pass.
Great experience.
Yeah, and I thought that would be, like, the internet sensation, viral photo, And that whale shark thing, I mean, it's made national news.
Right.
Yeah, CNN called me to try to use it.
That way out here to Lake Elk.
Just tell him no. Just checking.
Anyhow, bass fishing's great around here. We have a little bit of running water. 3 to 5 pound fish, plenty of them. A lot of panfish, bluegill, shellcracker, a lot of varieties of panfish, and it's been really good in the last week. So the more range we get, the better it's getting.
Good.
Yeah, someone asked me this past week.
Remind everybody, don't take for granted on the water. I have an older gentleman come in here. He lost his boat in Sebastian Inlet.
Ooh.
Wow.
He was out there, he anchored off, didn't anchor proper. Boat sunk, never found it again.
Wow.
Gone.
Wow.
And him and his buddy just about drowned.
Yeah, that's.
So, take these free courses. They have Coast Guard Auxiliary has all kinds of free courses around your areas. Take them.
Yeah.
Pay attention. Don't take it for granted.
No, it's. I was talking about that with Beckles and Retcher yesterday at 4:00 with my fishing report. That this is one of those weekends where it's kind of the launch of summer. Everybody gets all excited. Everybody, the waterways are going to be packed. There's going to be a lot of people. Designated driver. Be smart out there. Don't do anything stupid. We live in paradise.
And what's crazy, you couple that this weekend with the current tide situation.
Yeah.
We've got a new moon Monday on Memorial Day.
Yes.
And I was looking at the tides, and I was like, oh, this is going to be epic. Today, they're holding an event called Boat Stock in Madeira Beach.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, just south of the Tom Stewart Causeway, right out there in the bay in front of like the VA and the school over there. And there's going to be hundreds of boats over there. And then, obviously, Sunday and Monday.
Pass and all the places that they normally
And we've got
at.
screaming outbound tides.
Yeah. When that tide goes to turn to go out, buddy, let me tell you what, it's rocking.
In John's Pass from 11 a.m. From 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., it drops 3.5 foot on Memorial Day.
Yeah.
It's going to be screaming outbound tides.
That's moving.
Yeah.
Like I say, these gentlemen were older gentlemen. They've been on the water all their life, but they just did something stupid. They tied off and didn't leave any slack in the line and gone that quick.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah, it is crazy. It's crazy, no doubt. Tell everybody how they can find you out there, Ronnie.
All righty, I'm at 380 South Lakeshore Way, which is 1792 in Lake Alfred. Phone number 863-956-4990. Have a fantastic Memorial Day, and we appreciate all the servicemen that served their life in our country.
Amen, brother, for sure, no doubt. Nice job, Ronnie. We appreciate you, my friend.
Thanks,
Enjoy
guys.
your holiday. Thanks, pal.
Thanks.
Good stuff right there, Ron's Tackle Box.
I sent someone to Ron's Tackle Box this week. Someone called and asked about crappie fishing.
He's the guy.
And I was like, well, I think they call them specs down here, but
They do, and
call our friend at Ron's Tackle Box.
he is the guru of freshwater fishing out there. He owned a store right over here on Gandy.
Yes,
He
you
was-
told me that.
Yeah, he was part of the fishing scene here in Tampa Bay, and then moved out there to Lake Alfred to get away from the craziness, and it's all good. Good for him.
So he moved to Polk County to get away from the craziness.
Wow. Ouch.
Shots fired.
That was Dylan. That was not Captain Mike. That was a shot from Dylan. Let's make sure there's clarity on that, okay? He's in the
that's
orange
Grady
truck.
Judge.
I'm in the blue truck.
That's Grady Judge territory. It's safe.
Yeah, there's limited.
no
there's only a
craziness.
limited amount of crazy out there because of Grady. God bless him. Let's
My hero.
Let's check in with Donald in Lutz. Donald, how are you this Memorial Day weekend, my friend?
Excellent. Hey, for entertainment purposes only.
Always.
Hey, I was looking at Dave-O, the science pro. His salary is $130 for the year.
I know it.
So, I mean,
There
that's
you go.
pretty good, but it's not a whole ton of money.
Yeah, we pulled some up, and Dylan was all happy that they didn't
That I
make
was
as
right.
much as I thought they made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, they don't. But I was in the Michael Magley Memorial Tournament last Saturday, right? So we got some winds, right? We got some currents. I'm fishing up there, Rocky Creek. Get up there. It's like I go to drop my anchor. It's like, okay, I have no anchor. It's like, well, this is not good. Forgot my hard baits, my box of hard baits. It's like, oh, well. So go to pull out some jigs. Well, one jig. It's like, really? It's like, what the heck? So third cast, right? Hook into something that I thought is the winner, the big redfish. This thing is pulling my kayak around. It's like, I got this thing, right? I'm going to pull this up in my net. Hooked it about a 4.5-foot shark in the dorsal fin. How freaking weird is that?
A good old foul hook.
Yeah, in the dorsal fin. It's like, man, one jig. I got one jig on my entire kayak. It's like, I'm going to lose this jig to a freaking shark. So it's like, all right. So I get the shark to the boat, take a good picture of it, because I got to have a picture of this. And so I got a picture of it, and it's like, then the shark took off again. It's like, So I get it back to the boat, got the jig out, all good.
Nice.
There
Right?
you go.
So then I land the jig into a couple mangroves. It's like, man, pull my kayak up, pull it out. I did not lose that jig the entire day. Of course, that was the only fish I caught too. It's like, because I couldn't anchor. The current is like, I'm not going back to the truck to go get my anchor, because I did bring it with me, but so always do a check. But at least I had my life jacket on, so
Ops check.
that's always a plus.
There you go.
Ops check. Ops check.
You had the safety requirements, but you had nothing to fish.
Nothing to fish with. It was crazy. But
That is crazy.
dang it.
Hey,
but it was still, it was still a great time. I won a couple things in the raffles, and Dylan he came through. That was unbelievable. All the trips that you gave away, and I was very impressed with that. But you're just an awesome dude with everything that you do. So that was way cool.
I appreciate it, man.
Is he on the payroll? Is he on the Hubbard's Marina payroll? Is that how it's working?
Don't be jealous.
Checks in the mail.
Don't be jealous.
Hey, I'll take a 5-hour trip.
Shameless plugs, courtesy of Donald and Lutz.
Way to spin this, Mike.
Yeah. So I'm heading back out there on Tuesday. Going to go do some fishing out in the kayak, and let's see if we can't get a tagged redfish this year and win a boat, and that would be so awesome.
That's a great lead-in. We were talking about that before the show. The CCA Florida Star Tournament
kicks off today.
Is underway, so that's pretty super cool. So hopefully we might even hear from Captain Lisa Fitzgerald this morning. I know she's been running a little crazy. She was sick, and bad time of the year for her to get sick in that prep mode for the Florida Star Tournament. But I certainly hope that everyone is paying attention out there. Just myself, we know Jerry Bergeron won a truck.
Yep.
I had a family on my boat that took a picture of a trout on their CCA Florida Star ruler, turned it in. They won a boat.
Crazy.
Then another buddy of mine, Gene Harrison, who I play softball with, him and his wife Karen fish together all the time down in Manatee County, and they caught a tagged redfish 14 days before it opened, but it was a 2022 tagged redfish, and although they didn't win the boat, they won a $1,000 gift pack from Ingle Coolers.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they've just because they go fishing all the time and they're members of the CCA Florida Star Tournament, they took a picture of it. They did a video of the live release. They got $1,000 from Ingle Coolers, and
that's awesome.
Not telling. I know where that fish was caught, but I'm not telling anyone.
Yep.
Right in the corner of the mouth.
I've been registered for months. I've got my who's going to win a boat is my daughter Courtney when she's out there with us.
I like it.
Yeah, Courtney's going to win the boat.
There you go.
I just have a feeling that she's going to catch a fish because they're all registered. Me, Henry, and Courtney are registered. I'm going to have like a poker chip so we know whose fish is which with our initials on it.
I like it.
For the star measuring device, which I'm going to T.A. Mahoney's today to go pick one up.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. Let us know if Mahoney's actually working today.
Mahoney won't be there. It's Saturday.
No, he won't be there.
He won't be there till at least 10. At least 10.
No, he did comment on the live stream, Anderson, and he said, Mike Anderson ran a double. Did they issue a silver alert?
Wow.
Just wanted to pass that along.
How does the guy who's older? How's the
comments.
guy who's older than me throw barbs like that? Seriously, Mahoney, you're older than I am.
Is he though?
Yes.
All right, just checking.
For God's sakes.
Yeah.
Like a year, but
Oh,
it's
man,
still,
There it
older.
is. I knew it had to be close.
It's only a year, but Donald, we appreciate you, brother. Great call.
Absolutely. Hey, I can't wait to give Henry that Banshee rod that I picked up from Bull Bay Rods for him. It's got his name on it and everything, so he's going to be stoked about that. That rod is incredible. I can't believe how light it is and how strong that's going to be. It's going to be awesome. I've got a Penn Spin Fisher paired on it.
Nice.
So it's going to be awesome setup.
Durable. We love it. Good job, brother. I'm up against the break. Got to let you go. Have a great Memorial Day weekend, my friend. All right,
see you, buddy.
Thanks, pal. Good stuff right there. The old TV up there in the corner reminds me, too, about how great our Tampa Bay Lightning are doing.
Yeah,
Sitting on their backside waiting to see who they're going to play. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So congrats to the Bolts for another trip to the Eastern Conference Finals. How about my boy Mike Smith, too, from the Edmonton Oilers? Smitty, who was the goalie here, fished a pile of times with Mike Smith and his family. Great, great people. And looks like Smitty's going to get a chance to play in the Western Conference Finals now as Edmonton moved on. So that's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know about the Lightning. You lost me.
Okay, sorry. He didn't. Edmonton?
I've been listening to
They have a team in Edmonton?
DAE this week, so I know a little bit about the Lightning. That's as far as it goes.
You're getting there, buddy. You're getting there. Phone lines are wide open on this holiday edition of the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show. If you want to join us, 1-800-969-9352. Light them up. We'll be back. Having trouble finding a plumber or an electrician you can trust? A company that is clean, honest,
Alberta. Calgary.
Alberta. No, Calgary,
sounds like a different country.
Calgary is a town, so it's not in Calgary because Calgary has their own. So I think it's in. Well, Calgary might be I don't know. It's Canada.
You were speaking so confidently, like you were going to correct me.
Yeah, maybe.
Then you ended. I don't know. It's Canada.
It's north of us.
Oh, that was funny.
It's certainly somewhere north of us.
It's the Great White North.
Oh my God, dude, this show is just out of control.
North of Tampa. I'm like, I don't know.
This show is out of control. Oh my God.
Mahoney's talking all this smack on the Hubbard's Marina stream, so you can't see it.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's what it is.
Chicken shit.
He's playing tough because he knows you can't see it. Oh man, there's something in the water today. It is New Moon Monday, so lots of moving water over the weekend. Dark nights provide good nighttime dock fishing. That's what I'd be doing this weekend. Dock fishing, bridge fishing. Water's warming up, so those fish are pretty active at night, plus that new moon concentrates the bait. Dock lights, bridge lights, seawalls. Also snook back in the passes. Seeing quite a bit of snook around Johns Pass, but especially to our south, around Anna Maria, Sarasota. They're stacked in the passes and on the beaches, and it's working its way north. We got Jackson triggerfish are closing. Red snapper and gags are opening. So, some exciting stuff coming up here, guys. Remember, you can call into the show, too, if you want to join this interesting radio show this morning at 1-800-969-9352. Or you could just drop your comments in the stream there, and we'll pass them along to Mike. Morning, Donald VC, Randall Covert, Donald Waberman, Ronald Kersey, John Rivers. Thanks for joining this morning. Debbie and William Thill, Brandy Lee, Jeff Reedy. What's up, Scraps, Nick, Adam? Thanks for watching, guys. The estimated length on the whale shark was around 45 foot. They were on the hub, and it was definitely as big, if not a little bigger than the boat. So it was probably around 45 foot. It was a big whale shark. But they do get bigger, too. I'll never forget. Is that us? Yeah, coming back.
It's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
We're back. News Radio 970 WFLA. Here, Capt. Mike Anderson and myself, Captain Dylan Hubbard, on the Real Animals Radio Show, talking fishing on this beautiful Saturday morning. And we're coming up on that new moon. Got lots of moving water this week. Not really a good crab flush kind of weather, though, because we don't have that big outbound at night. It seems to be mostly during the day. They don't really seem to flush it during the day real hard, do they?
They do.
They do?
Yeah. Yeah, they do. I would say that the crab flush has been spotty, but from that I don't mean, it just seems like in some areas they're phenomenal.
Yeah. Like
Blinds Pass has been phenomenal on the crab flush, from everything I've been told. We dipped quite a few last night early in my second trip yesterday afternoon. We dipped a lot of crabs early, probably picked up 20 or 30 crabs in, a half hour.
Well, we had like 2,000 at the dock that our bait guy had brought in, and now we're down to just maybe 100, 200 crabs. He brought in another couple hundred yesterday afternoon. But he was saying that the tides weren't really, really good until later in this week.
Yeah, well, yesterday it started.
Yeah.
It really got good yesterday, and I think they're going to all weekend. I plan on getting back out there Sunday
Monday
to do a little tarpon fishing. Monday's going to be crazy.
Yeah, Monday afternoon, that tide
that should be
looks the most
should be a
aggressive.
good crab flush, too.
But that's going to be when everybody's out on the water. I mean, how many boats are going to get stuck on the sandbar?
Yeah, right.
During this Memorial Day.
going to be making a killing.
Oh, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah. So they're calling for at the buoy. Didn't you say somebody took the buoy out? So how are they forecasting?
You
from
can
the
still
buoy?
forecast at a buoy that it
doesn't exist.
No, I mean there's these buoy locations. So it's just like a tide or a tide station.
I got you.
There's not an actual. You don't go there and there's this thing that's reading the tide. No, it's just a location.
Okay.
So it's the same idea.
It's so great having Dylan because he's cleared up so many questions in my life. It's beautiful. So it's calling for things to be pretty nice now. Finally, after a week
weekend,
it was a touch breezy.
It's going to be real nice here probably today, tomorrow, and into Monday. And then we're going to have a high pressure kind of settling in off the east coast of Florida over in the Atlantic. And that's going to kind of settle into kind of a moderate easterly flow through the work week. And that summertime pattern is going to settle in. We're going to start seeing those 40, 50, 60% chances of rain. I think that starts around Tuesday through the rest of the week. And what that means is, again, that summertime pattern where we see 40, 50, 60% chance of rain, but it only rains after 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
So those afternoon thunderstorms are going to start rolling in here this week, and we'll get settled into that summertime pattern.
You're saying I shouldn't cancel my trip just because it says 60% chance of rain?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's super frustrating because people will come down here from other areas and they'll, well, are we going to go out tomorrow? There's a 60% chance of rain. If you don't go out in the state of Florida in the summertime when there's a 40, 50, 60% chance of rain, you'll never leave your house, is always my response. Right. I mean, it's a 40, 50, 60% chance every day in June, July, August, and December, September, you know?
And from what I've seen in some of the neighborhood ponds and that, we're due.
Yeah.
We need some water.
We do.
Yeah, we could use that rain. And actually, if those afternoons...
But on the flip side, we only need a little bit of rain because if we get a really, really hardened down big bunch of rain, especially in the very early part, it washes a lot of that topsoil and a lot of that stuff into the waterways. So that's a concern as we roll into rainy season. Water temps are already very high. This is the time of year where you start to see something really kick up as far as harmful algal blooms. And if it kicks up now, it's going to persist all summer, and there's a chance for a big bloom.
Algal blooms.
Algal
blooms.
Harmful algal
blooms. He's like you're starting to be like C.A. Richardson. Lots of big words.
Yeah. I mean, you got to pick the right mentors in your life.
You're just so happy. You were laughing before that even came out of your mouth. That's how happy you were with that. You were, weren't you? You were like, this is a good one.
When it popped into my head, I was like, oh, this is a good one.
Chris Mathis. Hey, do you want to partner up? You want to talk? You want to join me in here on the studio?
That was a good jab.
No, I think that was pretty good right there. No, that was good. That made for good radio.
That's nice. That's all good. I don't like any of you right now. 1-800-969-9352. We're going to talk a little bit of East Coast fishing. I got to fish Fort Pierce, so I want to talk about that on the other side. Lots of stuff to cover. We'll be back, 970 WFLA.
The preceding program was paid for by Real Animals Fishing.
WFLA Tampa, WXTV.
This is that awkward silence at break, guys. Should have known what time it was. I should have waited.
So funny.
It's all fun and games.
Yeah, it's just entertainment, people. As Mr. Mahoney would say.
Thanks, Big O. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, that guy loves you. Here's the female.
It's a dude.
It's a dude.
Richard Carmichael asked about the next seminar. I won't be giving a seminar at Bass Pro in June because of red snapper season and also our Gulf of Mexico Fishery Management Council meeting for a week there towards the end of June. So no June seminar. I'll be doing one in July, and it's July 22nd. It's the weekend following ICAST.
I'm doing one in June.
Yeah. Yes. But he was asking if I was doing a seminar at Bass Pro was the specific question.
I missed it.
We do have it's on the Hubbard's Marina stream. We do have a fishing conversation coming up June 21st at Bartow Ford with Bobby Lane. You happy now?
I'm sensitive. Very sensitive. I don't like to be left out.
Question about the red snapper, or will the red grouper lane snapper season close this year? So gag grouper season should be June 1st through the end of the year. Red snapper for us at Hubbard's Marina will be June 1st through end of day August 18th. Private Rex is June 17th through July 31st, and then there's some fall weekend dates in October and November. But as far as red grouper fishing, the red grouper could potentially close as early as August or as late as it could run through the whole year. But I would probably say that we're going to see some closure for red grouper this year. I just don't know when. Lane snapper should not close this year. They were able to institute that higher catch level, so we shouldn't see lane snapper close. Yep, Captain Frank is on vacation. He'll be back June 2nd, so he's not gone long, guys. Don't worry. He says, Big O said you have the best shirt on air.
Love that guy. Love that guy. Great taste.
Bill Daves, yes, Chris is in the building. He's just in the other room. He can't hear us unless we're live. Good morning, Bonnie. Did you hear Grady Judge's comments about the school shooting in Texas?
No.
Oh my gosh, he is riding the sheriff over there.
Oh, he should be.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
He was like, we would have gone in there. I'd rather the shooter be shooting at us. That's what we get paid for. If we're in there, he's going to be
Grady Judd would still be shooting that guy.
Yeah.
He'd still be filling that guy with lead.
Yeah. Crazy. Grady Judge don't play no games.
Love that guy.
He's a hero.
Chances will stay elevated this morning and through the early afternoon hours, mainly south of I-4 for a few isolated showers and storms. Otherwise, today our
Hey, does the kitchen have a water thing in there? Is there a water spout in there?
Yeah, I think so. Wow, what do you got to do?
I'm thirsty.
Oh. Here.
You don't mind? Thank you, man. Look at that. Real Animals water bottle.
That's right.
Got branded water bottles. Ooh, it's good water.
That's why I like it. It is. I'm a water snob. Bad. I can't drink crappy water, and that stuff is really good. And I've been doing that low good bottle thing forever. Customers, all kinds of people, like, dude, you got your own water? I'm like, yeah, you can do it too. Put anything on that bottle you want. They'll just send it to your house. You just send them a check.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So it comes in a case like that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You can buy it. They'll just deliver it right to you. If you want Hubbard's
Pallet of water?
Yeah. They'll just deliver you a pallet of water. You can have Hubbard's Marina water, and that way when they leave, you get a bottle of water with your phone number on it and all that. I mean, I don't even put the phone number, nothing on there, just real animals, but it's good water. It's right out of Tampa. It's like $7 a case or something.
That's expensive.
It is, but it's good water.
Yeah.
You can pay $3 a case at Publix for shit water. I don't want to drink shit water. So this way.
Well, we buy 3 pallets a week.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We go through it.
I get that, then. I get that.
Yeah.
Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
Well, I certainly feel for you if you are just joining the program now, because you missed a special holiday version. Our first hour was quite unique, as I got punched by one of our listeners, or it was just
he deserved it though.
I did. Apparently, I earned it. It was fantastic. So we're going to open the second hour kind of the same way we did the first one. It's Memorial Day weekend. It means a great deal to me personally. Should mean a great deal to you as well, as we remember the fallen, the men and women that have served this great country and made it what it is today. So enjoy your weekend. Obviously, I'm going to get the boat on the water. I'm going to fire up the Traeger, do all the good Memorial Day weekend stuff. But
I'll be working.
We should remember that, and a lot of people will be working this holiday season. There's no doubt about that. But again, there's a bigger meaning to Memorial Day than just a long weekend. So,
amen to that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So, all good stuff. All good stuff. Phone lines are open. Questions, comments, fishing reports, feel free to bring them right here. 1-800-969-9352. It's the weekend that the CCA Florida Star Tournament opens. So hopefully you are signed up and ready to rock. Again, we've already seen a tagged redfish here in the Bay Area caught. Was on my social media here just
and Mike knows where it was caught,
ago.
So you can send him a message over his social media.
Yep, and I won't answer you, or I'll send you on a wild goose chase. But they are out there. My friends just caught one, so just before the tournament started here. So get signed up. Again, you never know.
And that tournament kicks off today, Saturday, May 28th, and runs through end of day September 5th. So over 100 days or around 100 days of fishing. 101 days.
101 days.
And it's $75 to join if you're not a CCA member, and it's $40 if you are a CCA member. It's free for youth members of CCA and only $10 for children 17 and under. So definitely pretty cool opportunity to get out there on the water. There's 17 categories, lots of different stuff. And opportunities to win. There's even a trash category, which I thought was cool.
It is.
So if someone's listening, like, I'm not going to join that. I don't have a boat. There's tons of ways that you could participate, even being a shore-based or pier-based fisherman. And I've seen people on our boats measuring up offshore fish. Yeah. There's offshore divisions. There's a lot of different ways.
The Skyway Fishing Pier.
Mm-hmm.
A guy on my boat won a boat. His wife booked him a trip. We're catching redfish. He catches a trout out of the school redfish. Asked me if he can take a picture of that trout because he hasn't put a trout yet in the tournament for CCA Florida Star. I'm like, absolutely. Roll into October to the Star Banquet up in Crystal River. I come walking up to the line to get on the trolley to go to the event, and him and his wife and child are standing there, all smiles, because they had won a boat. You can catch trout from a lot of different places. You can be wade fishing at Picnic Island and catch all the trout you want. There's a lot of ways to win in this tournament. You're going to be fishing anyway. How about this?
I think they have a division for smallest fish I saw as well.
How about $100,000 in youth scholarships?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
You're going to be fishing with your kids anyway. I had a great gentleman, Chris West, on my boat yesterday. Really good guy, came to me courtesy of my friends at Ameriscape Services. And he was on the boat with his 3 teenagers. His daughter Sydney, Carson and Brandon, diehard fishermen. They fish in the big fantasy fishing camp, the summer camp here on the Gandy side, on the Tampa side of the Gandy there. Think how much you got to put 3 kids through college there. if you're going to be fishing all summer,
it's a good idea to work at a college.
It can't hurt. Yeah, it can't hurt to get a new job. But I mean, just think about it, And I've been at the banquet. I've seen the big smiles on the parents' faces, obviously on the kids' faces when they win these scholarships. It's pretty cool stuff. So, ccaflorida.org. Get signed up. Don't miss out. It's
sleep
pretty
on
cool. Yeah, don't sleep on that one for sure. Let's get our safe boating tip of the week. This one should be a pretty live one, I imagine. Memorial Day weekend's always a little crazy with everybody being on the water. So let's turn it over to our good friend Captain Jim Fogel, U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary Captain Extraordinaire. Jimmy,
good morning, gentlemen.
How are you?
Good morning.
Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. Thank you for your service again, Captain Mike. Appreciate that. Be thinking about all those guys that didn't make it this weekend.
Amen.
This weekend is going to be crowded, as is all most all Memorial weekends. But I want to talk about something else first. This past weekend, the United States Coast Guard vessel Diamondback assisted a sailor 95 miles off Tampa Bay after their sailing vessel was struck by lightning. So, of course, when it's struck by lightning, A, people can get hurt. B, it can start a fire. And C, it knocks out generally all your electronics, all the electronics. So the crew had to quick haste to arrive on the scene and make sure that, everybody got back okay. A couple of the primary things they wanted to point out that the Mariner had filed a float plan with relatives, giving the Coast Guard an idea of exactly what the route would be. So in other words, they didn't just say, "Hey, we're going to New Orleans or somewhere." They said, "Okay, on about this time we'll be here, about that time we'll be there, and by this time we ought to be home." On board, in addition to having filed a float plan, they had a handheld VHF and a sat phone, all of which helped out, when the Diamondback was headed their way and picking them up. So you can't be too safe when you're out there, guys. You got to think of everything that might happen.
Amen.
So please pay attention. This time of year, we are prone to have a lot of lightning storms in the afternoon. You want to seek shelter. If you can hear the thunder, you better get out of there, because there are all kind of studies showing that lightning can jump at over 10 miles. You don't even have to see a cloud, and you can get hit sometimes. So stay the heck out of there. Get out of town if the lightning and thunder is headed your way, and please be careful this weekend with all the extra boats out there.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Okay. And watch those currents. Those currents are going to be flowing this week.
That ripping. You're going to have a serious rip tide when that thing goes to dump out of there on Monday, even Sunday. It's going to dump. It dumped yesterday.
Yeah.
And that tide got going. Yeah. It was giddy up and out of there for sure.
It's going to be dangerous.
Well, then you should be swimming in pairs and not using floaty things out there. Floaty things really enable you to get lost in a hurry if you get caught in a rip.
Oh, yeah.
For some reason, I got a visual.
Yes,
of
I did too.
Mike
That's
Mahoney,
why I started
Mike
laughing.
Mahoney in the water with the little floaties on his arms, the little orange. I don't know why. I apologize, Mike, if you're listening, but that's the first thing
I went to you in one of those unicorn rainbow things, like that guy caught that tarpon in Boca Grande, and with a little umbrella drink and your pinky out. That's what I went to.
Wow. I felt bad. I felt bad about what I was thinking about Mahoney, and homeboy went unicorn on me, rainbow unicorn on me. Wow.
I think it's time for me to get out of here, guys. The Coast Guard Auxiliary at St. Pete, Jeff Fogel, I'm bailing out.
Thanks, brother. Have a safe weekend.
He brought up a good point, though, about having backup systems. That's so important.
It really is.
You get out there and something can happen with your power. You could be hit by lightning. Countless things could occur. So having backup systems, especially systems that are kind of compartmentalized and separated, is a really good idea. And a sat phone can't stress that enough when you're offshore. I mean, recently we had the situation where a guest was having heart issues and heart attack-like symptoms, and we were on a 44-hour trip, 10 hours away from the dock, and this guy was not doing well. So we were able to contact the Coast Guard with our VHF, but transmission was broken up. They were having trouble hearing us. We were having trouble hearing them. Definitely the sat phone saved that gentleman's life and made that situation a lot smoother and easier for everybody. And shout out to the Coast Guard for being there. Sent a chopper. They were there in 30 minutes once they spun up that chopper. So it's amazing.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
That was a very cool story you told me, for sure. Let's talk a little bit about your interesting conversation about
spinning reels.
Spinning reels.
Yes. What not to do with the spinning reel. So for some of you guys who might be friends with Hubbard's Marina on Facebook or follow us on social media, we started a conversation last night. And it really wasn't, to me, a conversation. To me, there's a right way and there's a wrong way. But apparently, there needs to be a conversation. So if you're using a spinning rod, or a spinning reel, excuse me. And
it should be on a spinning rod.
Yes. Another frustrating thing, but we won't get into that. So you're fishing with a spinning reel. What do you do when you're finished casting or dropping down? You reach up and you flip the bail with your hand, correct? Or do you turn the handle and force the bail close with the reel handle? That is the question for the second hour.
See, and I personally, I don't think that should be a question.
Yeah, there's a right way and a wrong way.
Right. That's the right way to do it is by hand. Yes. Always close your bail by hand.
Yeah,
you don't have to.
Some
reels do it though. Some reels will close.
Yeah, but it's the equivalent. I mean, yeah, the front door slams if you slam it shut. Yeah, but should you? No.
I agree. Listen, don't get all defensive.
My truck door will slam if you allow it to, but I'll get mad if you do it.
You're getting very defensive. I'm disagreeing.
I'm
with
worked
you
up
here.
over this because yesterday we had a guy come into the shop and he wanted to return his reel. He was very upset that his reel bail wouldn't close when you started turning the handle. That's because it's not supposed to. It's not designed like that. And newer reels, and I found out yesterday, I thought this was just Daiwa. It's because I only fish with Daiwa and we only sell Daiwa in our shop. But I've found out that newer Penn reels, newer Shimano reels don't do this, or they do the same thing where you go to turn the handle. Even if the bail's open, it won't close. So newer reels are actually designing them purposefully to where the bail won't close when you go to turn the handle because it's not supposed to.
And you'll find, especially now that, I would think, and I don't know what the true number is, but if I had to guess, I would say, 70 to 80% of the fishermen are using braided line. Wouldn't you think?
Inshore, maybe. Offshore, not so much.
What do you think it is offshore? 50%?
It depends on the age.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, and even then,
over 40,
even on the inshore side,
few.
some of the older gentlemen still using mono, which is crazy to me. But that's where the industry is headed. The industry is headed towards braid. So the manufacturers are building things. Even Bull Bay Rods is a great example. Somewhere that I'm in on the ground floor of the designing of rods. The rods are designed for braid. That's why they throw way better than your old rods do with the new braided line, because the guides are put on those rods in a way to help you make longer casts with braided line.
Yeah, and that's the idea. I mean, inshore, I would say it's almost predominant. I would say it's 90-10 with people who know what they're doing. I mean, if you take a fisherman who's been around the block, I would say it's 90-10 people using braid for casting distance is the main reason. And then offshore, for spinning reels, I would say most people are using braid for spinning reels offshore because the only application, again, this is not a conversation, there's a right way and a wrong way. The only application for spinning reels in deeper water past 100, 120 foot of water is you're either pitch bait fishing, you got that rigged up ready if a cobia swims by or some more pelagic fish, or you're using it to flatline, or you're using it to knock a rig with.
So,
and some people might use them to vertical jig, but you're not bottom fishing with bait. You're not dropping that straight to the bottom now.
Why? Hang on, hold on. We got to go to break.
There's a right way and a wrong way.
Okay, and I want to know. I'm just interested in what your take is. Listen, when it comes to offshore fishing, I'm not going to question you. You are my offshore guru.
It's physics.
So I want to know. I want
on
to know
the other
about
side.
It. Yeah, on the other side. We'll get to it. If you want to join us, 1-800-969-9352. We'll light them up. We'll be back. Gills Apparel was started.
Charlie Paulin said, years ago, spinning reels didn't have bails. We also didn't have cars, Charlie.
Charlie. Listen, I understood where you're going, Charlie.
Guys, even nowadays, they make bailless spinning reels.
They do.
Van Staal has a bailless spinning reel. I think there's a high-end pen that's bailless.
I think there might be.
I don't know if I'd like a bailless one because I like the guide, so you don't have to look at it. Bailless, you kind of have to look down to make sure that reel or that line's in that slot.
I don't think I'd like it either.
Yeah, just a little bit of tension on the line. The bail kind of guides it into the slot.
Jim is on the line.
Yeah, everybody.
Hey, where's Jim from? Do you know?
No, let me ask.
Thank you.
Hey, Jim. Nick, holding a spinning reel upside down shouldn't even be in the conversation because if you do that, you could just get off the boat and just get pushed in the water.
He should be flogged.
Is that better?
Yeah, and the reason for my asking was I'm expecting a call from Southeastern Fishing Tackle from one of the guys that works there, and they're supposed to call him with a fishing report. So I couldn't remember what the guy's name was, if it was Jim or I think it's Austin, but I'm not sure. So he just texted me for the number again, so I gave it to him. So I was just curious. It's the only reason I asked.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Someone else just brought up a good point about switching the reel handles on spinning reels. It's another thing.
What about
the right way and the wrong way?
What if you're left-handed?
Oh my God!
I'm just saying. What does it matter? No, I don't like doing it.
It matters. It matters. There's a right way and a wrong way.
You hold the spinning reel with your strong arm. I'm just saying. Well, I don't understand why that would matter to you.
Oh, it matters.
Why?
Because of spinning reels, then you have to be switching the handle all the time. There's
not all the time. Left-handed people are weird. There isn't that many of them.
You heard that here first, folks.
Yeah, there's a weirdo gets on my boat once a month. That's like, oh, I got the spinning rod. I'm left-handed. Okay.
No, to me, when you're reeling with a conventional reel, you're reeling with your right hand, and when you're reeling with the spinning reel, you're reeling with your left hand. Period.
Oh.
There's a right way and a wrong way. It doesn't matter if you're left-handed or right-handed.
Listen.
Because when you're conventional reeling, I'm reeling with my right hand.
I'm not going to say this on the radio.
When I'm spinning reeling, I'm reeling with my left hand.
This is going to be a special comment just for you.
I'm right-handed. It doesn't matter.
Just for you guys, okay? For some reason, Dylan's off on this tangent about, like, no gray area. Unless, for some reason, we're talking fish politics. And then we can be all kinds of gray.
There is no gray area. He gets all kinds of gray. There's no gray area. First of all, politics, I don't like politics. There's fishery science and there's fishery management.
Gray.
And there's no gray areas. There's areas of
gray.
Lack of data and lack of information. But that's not a gray area.
It is gray.
Let's go ahead and compare the moon landing to not knowing how many red snapper in the Gulf.
I'm just saying.
They did a $12 million study on red snapper.
I understand
the first
there's
time
enough
they've
money.
ever spent that kind of money.
I understand we don't have the money. I'm always pro money. I'm always think we should get more money for our fishery. Yeah. Always. 100%.
Agree.
Welcome back. The show within the show.
Oh, dear.
You can follow us on...
The music started and the show began the right time.
Real Animals, the Real Animals Facebook page and the Hubbard's Marina Facebook page. We are streaming live there. You can check it out. We got some other places that we stream live too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The T.A. Mahoney's Facebook page, Bull Bay Rods, Gills.
Nice.
Yeah. And the Real Animals YouTube.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Good stuff. We got a couple of callers, but I want to talk. Let's dive into this. So spinning reels
do not work for offshore bottom fishing.
With
period.
braid.
No.
Or even with mono.
With mono. With
Either
anything.
Way. Why?
Because physics.
Okay.
Physics.
Talk to me.
That's the short answer.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you're wrong. So you're like defensive. Don't be defensive.
Oh, I'm very
curious.
defensive because
there's
a lot of listeners.
To learn.
There's a lot of listeners out there like, oh, I only use a spinning rod and reel. I had a guy. He was a tournament fisherman in the Northern Gulf, cobia tournament fisherman. He's like, well, I've got $1,400 combos. I'm going to go on a 39-hour and fish with my Van Staal reel for red snapper and gag grouper, and I want to catch an amberjack. If you drop down a spinning reel for an amberjack, you should not be on a party boat or even a charter boat, really. Right. I mean, if you're on a private charter with 4 people, maybe you can drop down a spinning reel for an amberjack and fight the fish for 45 minutes and kill it. It's real smart. But
so but you're
physics, because a spinning reel by design, there's no low speed spinning reel. All spinning reels are high gear ratio. The higher the gear ratio, the lower the torque. The lower the gear ratio, the higher the torque. Just like your truck. In first gear, you got more torque, but it doesn't go as fast. In fifth gear, you have a lot more top-end speed, but you don't have a lot of torque. It's the same thing with a reel. So a spinning reel are all higher gear ratios. They don't have the power. Now, sub to 2022, people are like, well, my 8000 series Saltiga has 65 pounds of drag. That's cute. You can't hold 65 pounds of drag on a spinning reel because by design, a spinning rod and reel, you're fighting that fish and holding all that. Mike, you're a big guy. You could not lift. 45 pounds, I bet you would struggle to try to lift up with a rod and reel, a dead weight off the bottom. It's very difficult.
Yeah. I get it.
And it's crazy to me that people think they can fight these big fish on a spinning reel with no torque, no low-end power, and with one arm. Whereas with a conventional reel, by design, how the reel is developed is they make the bigger the reel, they have more drag, and they're typically lower gear ratio. You can find reels like those big 9/0s. They're typically like 2-to-1, 3-to-1 gear ratios, whereas a spinning reel is 5-to-1, 6-to-1, very high. So it's a lower gear ratio plus the way you hold it. So you've got the butt of the rod. Again, there's only a right way and a wrong way to do this. Conventional reel, you've got the butt of the rod underneath your right arm. You've got your left hand in front of the reel, and you've got your right hand on the reel. So when you're holding it like that, you're using your whole body to fight that fish, not just your right bicep when you're using a spinning reel. Plus, with a conventional rod and reel, the line is above the rod. So you get a really big fish on, you can set the rod. If you're on a bay boat like yours, you put your left leg up on the gunnel, and I can set the rod on my left leg and use my leg as a lever. If you're
Tommy LaRange.
Yeah, if you're using a boat like mine, like a party boat or a Coast Guard inspected charter boat, we've got a rail. You can drop down to one knee and use the foam of the rod on the rail. And you've got a lever, and all of a sudden now you can use the rod to fight the fish instead of your one bicep.
I think if you're getting your butt whooped by a fish, you ought to spend a little more time in the gym.
Well, I mean, when you fish inshore for 28-inch redfish all the time, I could understand you thinking.
Dude, I'll tell you what, big boy, if you want to come out on one of these tarpon trips, let's see what you got. Let's put you in the fight chair and see what you got. That's where I'm confused. Why do we fight tarpon with a spinning rod?
Because a tarpon's not going to take you into the rocks and break you off. But if you fought tarpon with a conventional reel, you'd get them to the boat quicker. They wouldn't be as tired. Probably wouldn't have as many sharks eating your tarpon.
How many of your AJs eat off the bottom?
Amberjack will eat at the surface, mid-water, but they will get you into a wreck. And the thing is,
wrecks, I see. Yeah,
and the thing is, if you're fighting an amberjack on a private charter boat with 4 people and everybody reels up, then fine. Fight them on 20-pound test at the surface and let them run forever. Cool.
I got you.
But on a party boat, no.
We're up against the break. Dylan's fired up. We'll be back. Jim Brody in Austin from Southeastern Fishing Tackle on the other side. We'll be back, 970 WFLA.
News, traffic, and weather.
Big man's fired up.
Bottom of every hour.
News Radio.
Yeah, and it's so frustrating because then they'll get back. I remember on one overnight trip, this was when I was a crew member, I was working the boat, and this guy all trip using spinning reels and breaking off on big gags. Got losing 18-inch red grouper. I mean, just, oh, it's a big one. Oh, gets it up to the surface. It's a 19-inch red grouper. It's like, no, that's too small. Got to go back. And then just getting dogged all trip. We finally get on a good jack bite, hooks up a jack, takes him all the way around the boat, tangles the whole boat. He's screaming, yelling at people, get out of my way, you're tangling me up. It's like, no, you're tangling yourself up, dude. You're using the wrong tool for the job. And eventually we had to just shut him down. Be like, no, you gotta use a boat rod and reel and use something proper. And then all of a sudden he started catching and landing fish. And it's like, yeah. There's a right way and a wrong way to do it.
Yeah, I got to kind of remember that you're fishing in a different world than I am.
But even on a private charter boat, there's still a right way and a wrong way to do it. I mean, these fish, especially offshore, the longer it takes you to get them to the surface, the more likely they're going to die from barotrauma. So you go offshore in your bay boat and you're using your snook setup or your tarpon spinning reel, and you catch that 18-pound red snapper out of season, he's dead. It took you 10, 15 minutes to fight that fish up to the surface. He's not going to go back down. Even if you use a descending device, he has a better chance compared to venting him. But he's expanded so much energy. That fight was so long. His body's so full of cortisol, and he's got barotrauma on top of that. It's just, you really overstress the fish when you're using that light tackle.
Okay.
Right way and the wrong way.
Yeah, I don't like fishing with that broomstick shit.
I'm not talking about a broomstick. I went to Bull Bay Rods and got custom Hubbard's Marina blanks. They're not broomsticks by any means.
I know, but even then I don't like
a conventional reel.
Freaking conventionals. I mean, I have conventionals and I use them and I like them, but my conventionals are smaller. Yeah. I don't like all that big.
You don't have to have
shit.
a big
and
conventional.
I put braid on it.
Like my conventional is a Daiwa Saltiga LD50 or LD40. I have a 35 little tiny baby one, and you put it on a nice custom rod. It's very light, very sensitive. I fish with braid too, but then you have to have a top shot, and it makes it more complicated. And it's definitely kind of like advanced level offshore fishing, because now you have to worry about your top shot. You have to make sure it's long enough, but you can definitely fish with mono, like Tommy Lorange. You mentioned him. All his rods were mono.
Were they?
Strictly mono. And they were all old school, bigger conventional setups.
Yeah. Well, he's an old school commercial guy.
Yeah. And that's why I said the age matters, because like my cousin Garrett, my dad, they look at those new compact, light, conventional reels and think they're silly. They look at the Bull Bay light custom rods and they think they're silly. They're using 7-8 foot Hornells or can't think of the other really popular one, Harringtons, or the big boat rods, solid glass sticks, and they're using all 80, 100-pound mono and a big 6-aught reel,
Right.
Just different style.
For sure. Yeah. Right way and wrong way. We got William online. Christopher, right way, wrong way. That's what he wants to talk about. Oh, this has been an amazing morning. Lots of TVs. Happiness everywhere I look.
Said Victor Flores, you're right. He said he always carries a spinning rod and reel to fish the column, which is knocker rigging, flatlining, or jigging, and frogfish. And that's exactly the reasons you carry and maybe for flatlining and for sabiki fishing too. Good reasons to have a spinning rod offshore, especially this time of year. Spinning rod's important offshore because we get those mahi, those chicken dolphin. If you're not rigged up and ready, you miss them. Gotcha plug. That's my favorite.
Is it for the mahi?
Catch them 2 at a time.
Really?
It's really good at catching them and stay because they can't spit the hook as well because of the treble. But then you get them on the boat and it's a bear to get them off that treble hook.
Bloody mess.
Flopping around.
Bleeding everywhere.
Yeah. Someone said, Mike, when are your new series coming out on Bally Sports? They're already out, aren't they?
No, well, we did 7 new shows, and then we rerun them. And then at the start of third quarter, you'll get another 6 new ones, and then we rerun those. It's a 13-show year, but we try to break up the new deliveries. So you get some new shows in second quarter, some new shows in third quarter. And all the shows are now, the first 7 are up on Waypoint TV. So you can go to waypointtv.com and watch the first 7 new ones for season 16 for free.
Jeff, bringing a spinning rod on a 10-hour makes sense. I fish with the spinning rod on a 5-hour, 10-hour. Basically, inside 100 foot of water, a spinning reel is still a good idea for bottom fishing because you're using 30-pound fluorocarbon and a 3/0 hook for hogfish and mangroves. But once deep, get rid of it.
Right way and wrong way, damn it.
Our captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
Welcome back. Our last big segment of this holiday edition of the Bartow Forward Real Animals radio show. I want to thank everybody who's joined us so far. It's been good stuff. Let's try to rattle through some of these calls here. Lots of great conversation this morning. Some laughs, too. The great Chris Mathis behind the glass helping us keep rolling here this morning. So I've been face punched by my clients, all kinds of good stuff.
He got threatened to get punched. It was the best show ever.
It's been good stuff, good stuff. Let's go to our good friend Jim Brody there in Riverview. Jimmy, how are you?
Hey, Mike, how you doing, bud?
Good, pal. What's up?
Hey, just want to reiterate on the captain there from the Coast Guard. He says, because I personally had my boat hit. One, the importance, again, of having insurance on your boat, because they did cover my lightning strike. No, not a cloud in the sky. It was a beautiful day. Couldn't see a cloud anywhere, and direct hit and smoked everything on the boat.
That's
about
crazy.
$75,000 worth of damage.
Wow.
So definitely insurance helped me out, and the importance of having the phone and all that. So that's definitely I was trying to piggyback on that a little bit.
Good job.
But,
yeah.
It's always good to hear a good insurance story.
Yeah.
There's not many.
Report. And I know Dylan. I know he's like the political guy, and he doesn't really like to talk bad about Mike Mahoney, But Dylan, for sure, man. If Mike's ever been on your boat, which I know he has, he didn't catch that gag. Somebody else caught that, and you let him post with it.
Mike caught 2 fish that day.
And he's holding the spinning reel upside down, reeling backwards.
I believe it. No, Mahoney caught 2 fish that day, and one of them was that big gag. He does not fish a lot. He cruises around. Like what he said in the seminar, I was like, really? You don't fish the whole time? You just kind of sit back and watch? That's what he did. He was 100% honest. He just sits back and watches, and he waits for his friends to miss a big fish. Tangles missed a big fish, and Mahoney cruised right over, dropped down a live pinfish, big bait, big tackle, and sure enough, he got the bite and he landed the fish because he had the right tools for the job, and he was patient, and he got that big grouper up. So it was not a myth. He did get the big guy grouper, but he didn't get the biggest mangrove snapper.
Brody, we appreciate you, brother. I got a full board. You're the man, my friend. Have a great weekend. Be safe. All right, partner. Good call. Good call for sure. Let's check in with Austin from Southeastern Fishing Tackle there on Florida Avenue. Going to give us a fishing report. Austin, how are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you, Captain Mike?
I am great. What you got for us? You guys got a lot of people coming in that store's all newly remodeled and all that. You got a lot of people coming in there all week. What's the word on the street? How's the bite?
Right now, we're getting a lot of news from the offshore bite. A lot of our customers are going offshore for a red grouper, catching some mangrove snapper, and I've been going out myself lately. So right now, I can tell you the bite's been pretty good. If you get around 90 to 130 feet of water with some real cheesy bottom, the bite's been on fire right now.
Cheesy bottom. I like it.
Swiss cheese.
Cheesy bottom.
What's your bait of choice there, Austin?
My favorite bait of choice is whole squid, but if I can't get a hold of whole squid, then I like using the squirrel fish. It's like a secret bait to me. For some reason, the red grouper and the big snapper can't resist them down there.
Amen to that.
Dylan just kind of lit up like a Christmas tree. You're like singing to Dylan. He's mesmerized.
I like squirrelfish. It's squirrelfish and the grunts as well. Pigfish is what we call them. Pinfish work well too. Any live bait, but some days it seems like they have one of those as their choice, and that's what's cool. Where we are, we get bait trapped, so we'll have a mix of pinfish, pigfish, squirrelfish. So a lot of times I'll just kind of watch, and if everybody's dropping down a pinfish, I'll drop down a pigfish, or if everybody's dropped down pinfish, and
Be different.
a lot of times it's just something different. And like on our boats, we provide squid and thread fins, so everybody's dropping down cut squid wing or thread fins, and so someone will bring out whole squid, and that guy catches a really big fish, or someone will bring out a baby octopus, and that guy catches a really big fish. Sometimes offshore, it's just something a little bit different than everybody else, and that's why slow pitch jig fishing works really, really well. When everybody's bait fishing, you drop down that first time at the very start or very end of a spot, it's just something different. Those fish really react to it.
Nice. What are you hearing about What are you hearing about the inshore scene, Austin?
Inshore, the snook are picking up in the passes a little bit. The gag grouper bite is starting to heat up a tiny bit, but really it's about these tarpon. These tarpon are everywhere, and they're terrorizing people at all the bridges right now.
Yeah.
It's hard to get away from them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. As long as we can get that wind, should be a good weekend for the tarpon bite. This wind's going to lay down. We got a great outgoing tide as we crawl up on this new moon, so that should be great stuff. Great place to get loaded up on all your fishing tackle there on Florida Avenue. One of the what I call one of the original incredible, stronghold tackle stores here in the Bay Area. Southeastern Fishing Tackle, new ownership over there. Great people, Addie and Z, doing a great job, and you guys, Austin, a great staff in there to help you get all tackled up. Tell everybody how they can find you guys over there on Florida Avenue.
So, guys, you can find us on our Instagram at Fish Southeastern, or on our Facebook at SFT, or you can also come check us out on 2907 North Florida Avenue. We'll be there Monday through Sunday, not this Monday, but usually Monday through Sunday, and Sunday we're open from 10 to 4. So, yeah, come check us out. We're a great store with great people, and we love helping everybody out.
Austin, great job, brother. Austin's going to be calling in with these reports from Southeastern on a regular basis here. We're also going to get some reports from Southeastern joining us on our Sunday morning show as well. So look forward to it, Austin. Great job, my friend, and we look forward to talking to you. Have a great holiday weekend.
You too. Thank you for having me this morning.
I appreciate you.
Buddy.
Nice job. Good stuff right there. Yeah, Southeastern Fishing Tackle, newly remodeled. We're so blessed. So many great tackle stores in the Bay Area. Gator Gyms is obviously a mainstay for Dylan and I. Great people.
Amazing selection.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous
Killer
store.
deals.
They're doing a great job over at Southeastern now as well. They've got it remodeled, cleaned up, new apparel, all kinds of great stuff going on over there at Southeastern Fishing Tackle. So if you're stuck on the Tampa side, can't get over there to Gator Gyms, it's a great choice. So, and again, great group of guys working in there too. Really impressed with a lot of the young talent that works in that tackle store now. So just like Gator Gyms, knowledgeable, passionate about fishing, helpful. That's what you need when you walk in those stores and you're looking to make the right decision on some
so often
tackle.
People will show up with a bunch of bags from a tackle shop, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
And then you open them up, and they have the right stuff, and it's like, thank goodness.
Yeah.
And then that instills a lot of confidence. You can send people to that store and know they're going to get the right stuff. Nothing worse than seeing someone show up with $2,000 worth of tackle that's all wrong.
Well, that's the thing. Like Austin there, he's ate up with it. The dude loves to fish. He's really into it. It's what they do. When they're not fishing or working at the tackle store, they're on YouTube learning and dialed in and trying to get more knowledgeable. And that's going to help you when you go to make that big purchase. So That's good stuff. Let's check in with Newport Richie. Let's go to Ronald. Ronald, how are you this morning?
Good morning, guys. I'm sitting out here on my boat chumming up some live bait.
Nice.
There you go. What are you using for chum?
Marina tropical fish food.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Yeah, me too. That's what I use. Nice. Very cool. What you got for us?
I
Talk to
want
us.
to talk about the CCA
Okay.
and the youth anglers. I've met both of you at various events. I sponsor kids, and I take them fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to get the kids out on the water. We need to get them involved in fishing. We need to get them away from the computer screens and get them outside and, having fun.
Amen. Yeah, amen. Preach it, brother. Preach it. I like it.
I mean, I have a blast with the kids. This all comes out of my pocket. In fact, I got a fundraiser going on Facebook now. I sent the link the other day to Dylan. I don't know if you saw it or not. I'd like to send it to you, Mike.
Go ahead. Feel free to send away.
I'm fixing to go to Melbourne here in a couple days. I got 2 little girls that live over there. Hopefully we'll be fishing with Blair Wiggins or one of his buddies. Last year I took the 2 girls with your buddy Jeffrey Page.
Nice.
And they had an absolute blast down in Sarasota.
Cool. Yeah, Jeff's one of the best. There's no doubt about that.
It's a wonderful event. I can't say enough about it.
Good.
Awesome.
Good call, Ronald. Good call. Keep up the good work. Make sure you reach out to us. I know both of us love to help. Kids are important to both of us. Again, I had my first trip yesterday. I had 3 teenagers on the boat that were an absolute joy to fish with. Very fishy kids. Just a blast. Catching jacks and trout and snook. It was a spectacular day. So there's nothing better than taking kids fishing and putting them on some fish, brother. So keep up the good work. Reach out to me. Keep me in the loop. Let us know how we can help, all right?
Thank you, sir.
All right, buddy.
Thank you.
Have a great day out there. Good luck. Catch them up.
Speaking of kids fishing, June 18th is the kids event. Hillsborough County Parks and Rec is putting on a kids fishing clinic out at Picnic Island.
Oh, nice.
I believe it kicks up at either 8 or 9 a.m., but you can search for it on Facebook. I saw the Facebook event the other day. Pretty cool kids event.
Hillsborough County does a good job of that. They've got a fishing camp that was going on out at Simmons Park as well.
Yeah,
they did a great job.
Fishing camp used to go fishing on our boats. It was pretty cool. They had that going on, but unfortunately, COVID kind of disturbed that. But this kids event is going to be cool. First, I believe 150 kids leave with a combo rod and reel. Yeah.
Is that the one Sergio's doing?
Yes.
Oh, good for
He's
I heard about that. Yeah, the great Sergio Otanis. Yeah, that's super cool.
Yep.
Good job. Sergio does a lot of good stuff in the community, so that's good for him. Let's get another call in here quick. Let's check in with our good friend William in Crystal River. The right way and the wrong way he wants to talk about. This should be good, Willie. What you got for me, pal?
Well, hey, Captain, you didn't really mention what happens when you do it the wrong way. If you like bird's nest and line twist, that's the wrong way. So if you want to actually be on the water and fish, you don't want to be forcing that bail to be closed because you'll be taking apart bird's nest and line twist. Now, do you guys ever know the old trick about taking off all your weights while you're underway, letting all your line off your reel so it can get rid of some line twists?
Yes.
I don't know if you guys ever do that, but that's one way to get rid of line twist is let it flow behind the boat while you're underway, and it'll untwist itself. Guys, if anyone's going to punch either you in the mouth, they're going to need a step ladder. Because you guys are big men. They would have to think pretty hard about trying to punch you guys. It's sad sometimes you think about weathermen, you wonder if they're flipping a coin, but they actually work hard on what they're doing, and they're trying. And we got to give them a break.
Hard work.
Remember the people that fought for us so we can fish, and we have so remember those that gave their lives so we could be free.
Amen.
And fish.
Absolutely.
So tight lines, guys. The next time we use words, I hope you're saying them. Fish on, and thanks for being there.
Have a great holiday weekend, William. Great call.
He just summed up our show.
He did.
In a minute.
He did. Yeah, that's all it took him. The show was so bad. The show was so bad, he summed up the whole show in 60 seconds.
But the important part was obviously the Memorial Day thing, and make sure that you close your bail with your hand.
Yes. Yeah.
Don't crank to close your bail.
Well, you know.
He also forgot to mention don't use spinning rods for offshore bottom fishing past 120 feet.
60 seconds.
We'll forgive you.
Summarized an entire 2 hours of my life in 60 seconds, William did. Yeah. Reaching people. Changing lives. That's
Making
us.
memories.
That's us. That's what we do, Chris Mathis. We change lives. Chris is like, yeah, you changed my life. You made it terrible. I had to get up early this morning.
Man, I'm having a lot of fun over here.
Just because you have a radio show.
I've learned a lot, man.
I had to get up at 4 this morning on a Saturday, on a holiday weekend. Thanks a lot, captains. You're the best.
Making memories.
It's good stuff. Wrapping things up on the other side.
We might even talk fishing.
We might. Yeah, well, maybe. The Bartow Ford. We might talk about Waffle House.
Yeah, what are we having for breakfast?
I don't know. We got to think of something. I'm hungry. It's the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show. We'll be back. Too much fun. Too much fun. Too much fun. That was so great. Richard on the South Shore just launching us into humorous times this morning. How about your clients punch you in the face, bitch?
That was the first segment, wasn't it? Or it was the second segment?
It was right after the just before the bottom of the hour. Yeah.
So epic.
Oh my God.
Captain Ray Markham, what's up, buddy?
Razor Ray.
Razor Ray.
Razor Ray never misses a Rays game, I don't think.
And someone said you should get Captain Mike Anderson out offshore with you. We tried during Mahoney's fishing show. Mike Anderson was supposed to come join us, but he avoided it.
I was not.
He dodged it.
I never agreed to that. I never agreed to. You know why? Because it's not.
Because he would have to use a conventional reel.
No, it's not because it's not going fishing with Dylan Hubbard and Mike Mahoney. It's Dylan Hubbard, Mike Mahoney, and all Mike's weirdos.
They're really cool guys.
No, listen, they're phenomenal guys. Matt Clapp, Tangles. They're phenomenal people. They all know I love them.
Don't turn your back on them.
They know I love them dearly. Each one of them individually is a great human being. With that being said,
don't get them together.
As a group, that's not safe. There's nothing safe about that. It's not good. It's not good. Danger mouse. Danger.
They were brutal to each other.
Oh, it's not good. I'm telling you. I'm like, yeah. Mahoney's like, hey, what are you doing on this day? I'm like, I don't know, probably something. What do you got? And he's like, well, we're going offshore fishing on Hubbard's boat. I'm like, okay, let me get this straight. You want me to go 120 miles out into the Gulf of Mexico on a boat where I can't get away from you and your band of weirdos and D-Hubs? No, sir. Not happening.
Dude, they were so brutal. Offshore fishing. Oh. We'll get to it.
That can't be us, is it? Is that us?
That was fast.
Presented by Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
Well, I guess we're back.
That was fast.
That was fast.
Caught us off guard.
Quickie. It was a quickie. Holiday weekend is upon us.
Not a lot of news. News cycle's slow. Must be what it is.
If you're looking for a new roof, don't forget our good friends at Affordable Roofing Systems. Again, they're your safest choice for repairs or replacements, whether you need a shingle, metal, tile, or a flat roof. They're the guys to go to. Over 3 decades of roofing experience right here in the Florida area, and roofs in Florida are different. We got crazy wind, we got weather. Nobody does it better than Affordable Roofing Systems. Get a hold of them today for your free estimate, 1-888-397-ROOF, or visit them online at affordableroofingflorida.com. Listen, I hope everybody just has a great weekend. We are set up beautifully for some phenomenal fishing. That wind is supposed to be down, although when Ronald called there in Newport Richie, it sounded a little breezy, so we'll see. It wouldn't surprise me if they were off a tad on the wind.
Here we go.
With that being said, I know they're trying. So
there you go. Way to temperament.
It's like we're taking a step back. It's okay. Little Johnny tried. No, little Johnny still stinks, okay? Period. That's the bottom line, okay? There's a right and a wrong. And little Johnny wasn't close.
Right way and a wrong way.
And he's wrong. Okay? So we're not going to give him points because he tried. The weatherman's trying. We need to cut him a break. Whatever. It's terrible.
Today's forecast is supposed to be beautiful.
It is. The whole weekend looks beautiful.
Yeah, less than 1.5 foot today at the Egmont Key Channel entrance. Less than 10 knots. Supposed to be gorgeous. Today, tomorrow, into Monday.
I hope they're right. We're going to get out there. We're going to try to get out there on Sunday. So I'm hoping they're right.
And then that high pressure settles in, so we'll have a little bit of moderate wind Tuesday through the rest of the period as we settle into that summertime 10 to 15 knot pattern.
You got trips booked through the whole holiday weekend here?
Oh, yeah. It's definitely a busy time right now as we gear up for, the opening of red snapper season, which kicks off June 1st, runs through end of day August 18th. For us federally permitted charter boats and party boats, private rec red snapper is June 17th through July 31st with some October, November weekends. And we're just gearing up for the end of our gag group or end of our amberjack and triggerfish season, which closes at the end of May here. But then gags and red snapper open June 1st. And this weekend is just busy with a lot of the family trips, everybody trying to get out in the water and enjoy some fun in the sun for Memorial Day.
Does that mean you got to go into the office?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Going to be working Sunday and Monday. And today, just doing the show here today.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So it's going to be busy. It's
hard to be. How do you balance all that? I mean, big time celebrity, you're on TV, you got a radio show, and then having to work all that time. Then you got a lovely family, beautiful wife, gorgeous kids. I mean, how do you balance it all?
Just trying to stay as balanced as possible is the biggest key. Trying to find that happy medium is the biggest challenge.
Whiskey and firearms?
Yes, that helps a lot. Yes. Yeah, whiskey, bourbon, rye, and flash powder.
Firearms.
Yeah. And then trying to get out fishing as much as I can. That also helps temperament things.
Well, you got a big compliment from Mike Mahoney, who as I was talking to him about the great trip you guys had, Mike said that he's just been blown away at just what a fishy cat you are. So, and coming from somebody like Mike Mahoney, who he doesn't lob kudos around all that often. So you got some kudos from the man who is Mike Mahoney.
Yeah, it was the
leader of weirdos.
It was a tough bite out there that day. We were right behind that full moon, so it was just picky. The bite was super soft, so you really had to work for it. And I was on the porgies like crazy, so it was kind of a joke by the end of the trip. But it was a good time. And Mike Mahoney, with all the jokes and all the fun we have with him, he did have some really good, solid influence, some positive influence on our good buddy, step stool Mike Splash Baker, our first mate extraordinaire on that trip, left with many new nicknames, but also a new affliction for flatline fishing. After catching that big wahoo, he wasn't really a big believer in having that flatline out, and he's changed. He's changed for the better. After fishing with Mike Mahoney.
Who would have ever thought Mike Mahoney changing people for the better? Who would have thought it? Usually I picture Mahoney influencing people in the wrong way, but here he is.
No, now Baker's all ate up with flat lines. He's caught 2 sailfish in 7 days.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. That's good stuff.
Flatline fishing works. Don't forget your flatline this time of year. We got wahoo around, lots of billfish still. You got a chance for those blackfin tuna, chance for those kingfish. It's a fishy time right now offshore on the surface in that pelagic water.
We got Rays Yankees series still going on this first part of this weekend, I think, yeah?
Yeah, that's right. Tough loss last night for the Rays at home. I went to that game. We lost 2-0, unable to hit the ball. Didn't have any base runners until late in the game. It was frustrating, Mike.
That pitching staff in New York's has played well, maybe even a little better than what they thought they were going to.
Yeah, and so is the defense, too. In the past, the Yankees' defense is really halted them, slowed them down down the stretch, and this year they look phenomenal.
Yeah, I don't get wowed by big humans very often, but Aaron Judge is a big man who does incredible things on a baseball field.
He looks like a Major League Baseball creative player.
Yes.
When you see him in person, he's huge.
Yeah.
It's insane.
He is. That's a big human being, no doubt about it.
Player.
So, he does, yeah. If I was going to build a player, it would look like you. You freak. Yeah, good stuff. So you got baseball. Obviously, we're watching to see what happens and see who the Bolts are going to play here in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's all coming down. It's a holiday weekend. Please be safe out there. Thanks to all the people who chimed in today, all the people watching us on the live feed on the Real Animals Facebook page, the Hubbard's Facebook page, Mahoney's, Gill's, Bull Bay Rods, all that stuff. We appreciate you guys so much. To my partner for grinding and coming in this morning, I appreciate you, brother. Great to see you.
It was fun.
Yeah,
I had fun today.
Always a good time. What do we tell people?
Don't forget, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy.
I hear it all the time. My clients on the boat are like, man, you and Dylan are doing a great job on the show. And then somebody chimes in from the back. If you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy.
Amen to that.
It's sticking with people. Chris Mathis, great job, my friend. You are a stud. Have a great weekend. Be good out there. We're out.
The preceding program was paid for by Real Animals Fishing.
Normally, like when they came back early, I expected it to try to.
Oh, no, you're not cutting me short on my time.
Good show today. Not our best. We'll get them next time.
Possibly.
I love that ending of that.
Yeah. That's
always funny.
That's some Pat Donovan magic right there.
Thank you guys for tuning in and hanging out this morning. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It was definitely a lot of fun. And Mike's apparently going to Waffle House.
Could happen.
I'm going straight home.
Nothing makes you brawny like
some Waffle House?
Yeah.
That's bodied by Waffle House?
Ham and cheese omelet. Order hash brown scattered, smothered, and covered.
He's so full of
raisin
shit.
toast. You got Chris Mathis sizing up. Come on over here, buddy. Come on, get in the live feed.
Come on,
you guys
Chris.
Want to see Chris
Come on
Mathis
in.
on the live?
I don't know if they're ready for
Come on, flex for him.
Woo!
There it is.
Waffle House, baby. I need to go hit some Waffle House.
Yeah, you need more Waffle House in your life, apparently. Maybe that's what I'm missing.
It's good stuff.
We'll see you next weekend for another episode of the Real Animals Radio Show. And tomorrow morning
they will be there. There will be no live feed tomorrow morning, but you will be able to catch us on
Mahoney likes to try to fly under the radar. So.
95.3 WDAE and AM 620. Check them boys out over there. Have a great weekend, and please, like I said, please be safe. This is one of those weekends where there's a lot going on, a lot of beers, a lot of relaxing, a lot of partying, all that. Designated driver, be safe. Make sure that you make it through the weekend and well. And let's remember the fallen, because that's really what this is about, remembering those that we've lost, the men and women service members. So,
Amen.
God bless you.
Thanks for watching, guys. Y'all have a good day. Happy Saturday. See you.
Spotted the suspect and began to approach him in his vehicle. The suspect turned and fired 10 shots, striking the